You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne,
Hello.
it's Niall,
Howdy.
and it's me, Brian, the guy with one eye on his text messages, waiting to see if work needs to come in and make him look at a document way after he's gone home. Uh, but before I do that, let's talk about last week's anime from June the 14th to June
Yay.
the 20th. Starting with YAIBA, episode 11, Sword of Raijin versus Sword of Fujin. In which we have our face-off between YAIBA and Onimaru this
Round
early in
2.
the series.
Round 3?
Yeah.
I don't know many rounds. There's going to be a lot of rounds in this thing by
Yes.
the looks of things.
Yeah, they go at it. Kojiro tries to betray them again, but this time Mr. Spider has had enough of Kojiro constantly switching sides.
A traitor will not will ultimately betray you.
Yes.
And they literally did just watch him do this to Super Gorilla last week. So it's just like, it's that trick he's playing. So switching sides. I was like, no, I think he just switches sides constantly. I think that's just going to be his thing.
And so
get that YAIBA.
They fight and they fight and they fight, and eventually they get the Fujin gem in the sword because you're going to need that to fight Onimaru's power. And they fight and fight and fight some more until they clash so hard that the Fujin gem goes flying and the sword of Raijin breaks. Mr. Spider nicks both of them, and all the bad guys escape in Onimaru's Tower of Babel themed spaceship that he secretly has.
Yeah. It's his unfinished sky castle. You can see some of the scaffolding still up in it, but he hid underneath Parliament. And
Again, but Dia sort of already had it underneath the rock. He just threw a little skulls and call it a day. It makes you wonder, what's the government really got in store for us here?
Hey, they were just trying to resurrect the Tower of Babel, but this time he can fly, so it's even higher up.
Question
and
authority,
spit in the face of God even more. It's the best possible solution. The government's doing it for your benefit.
And as YAIBA sort of ponders his failures, he's lost the gem. The people of Japan cheer him as a hero because they've got rid of this demonic tyrant that had taken over the country.
Yeah, we do see, besides our characters all getting bits to do in the big fight, the public kind of reacting to this is like, it's a small child fighting. It was like, get him, small child. Small child has saved us. Look, he's running away. And they're delighted by this. But also, he's declared that he wants to be the strongest samurai in the world. So I assume all the world's super criminals are going to swim towards Japan to try and fight him or something like that. Like that, it's that kind of situation. You've created a situation here, which maybe because apparently there's so much more of this than we thought there was.
I was going to say, because
it's looking pretty good. Hey, you drove away Onimaru. That's how it appears to the public. He just flew off up to the sky like a bitch. So he's just got it here. But then it's just like, okay, lads from our flying space fortress, let's take over the world starting now.
But not quite yet, because next week it switches to being ran one half, and we get a formerly unknown fiance show up and
yeah,
and YAIBA.
Right.
Well, it was the start of the time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yes, and this feels very much a collection of things that were in the style at the time.
Listen, I love the author and everything, but this is very much so. A lot of this is crib notes, but he's doing a great job of it. This is a really excellent presentation of copied homework, basically. But it's good. It looks very good. It's a lot of
presentation is what we're all about here.
Yeah.
Yes, because I was reminded of that this week when they finally put Oblivion Battery up on Manga Plus, and then I was like, what's the new one which just started in Shonen Jump?
Harukaze Mound.
That's the one. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I see where you're getting your ideas from, and I see that you're not going to be around long because we've already got Oblivion Battery. We don't need another one.
Big mound of shit. Yeah, we know.
Well, the Oblivion Battery is like taking 3 months off, so maybe they do need another one for a short period of time. man, what I've read so far of Oblivion Battery, so good. Highly recommend it.
Well, we've got 2 New Age exorcists on the go now, so who's to
Yes.
say what can fucking stick around or be fashionable?
Then we got Detective Conan, episode 1165, The 17-Year-Old Truth, The Perceptive Devil.
What you call me?
I told you it was going to be wordplay. I told you it was going to be wordplay that I have no fucking hope in hell of solving. And it
Ye-
wasn't a remote controlled crossbow. It was crossbow sound effects volume 3 on your phone that you can use to, yeah. Like that's how he did it. Of course.
Oh.
Yes, it was the guy with the mustache was the one who did it.
And the mullet. That's an important part of his
Well,
character.
and the mullet, yes. So the reason he did it is because the victim had framed the guy who's missing because he was already dead for playing that tune during the previous tournament, and the shame caused the guy to commit suicide, and so Kinji Ogawara was decided that he was going to have his revenge for him, and took care of Naoto Kishitani by this elaborate.
It was to make it look like basically he was the killer was targeting all of the chess players.
Yes.
But obviously it was him targeting this one specific guy. He didn't really have any vengeance against the other guys. It's not their fault.
Yeah, and what's the glass thing he used? It's the something
Oh,
tier.
oh, that fucking chemical process. The fact that they get the professor to come in and demonstrate an explosive glass experiment in a crime scene with murderers around and small children. I was like, everyone stand back. I'm going to explode this fucking glass. It's condensed carbon dioxide within the glass, and then you snap off a piece, the whole fucking thing shatters, exploded, or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, that was how he faked the glass. Yes, the wordplay was the way they were reading it. They were reading it as an interpretation of somebody else's name, and then they pointed out, "Oh no, he always turned the things towards him, so therefore we need to be looking at the chessboard in a different
From
way."
this angle, yeah.
And that means his dying message points to you. And then once the fingers pointed, he just pretty much comes straight out and says, "Yeah, it was me. I did it. This is why." Um, and that is taken care of very quickly in the episode because that's not really what this story is about. This story is there has to be a crime at a chess tournament that Conan solves, quote unquote, by saying, "Oh no, Shinichi texted me. I texted him the details, and he told me how to do it." And then Kuroda's like, "I got a word with you, Conan, before you go and head off with your other children." And he's like, "Why do you want to speak to me? It was Shinichi who solved it." And basically, Kuroda just gives him a look, which is like, "Yeah, sure, we'll play. I'll go along with you saying that."
Yeah,
Then
we
Conan's
know
like,
it's you. Let's say solving the crime, small child. I don't care. I'm going to tell you the fucking secret history now. Sit down with me and I'll talk to you.
"Yeah, he's like, there's a similar crime 17 years ago at a chess tournament," and he's like, "But if you want," yeah, Conan's like, "Shinichi solved that one, but I'm fine with hearing these details." And so they're basically just going to sit within their lie while Kuroda retells the flashback of the murder of Amanda Hughes and the murder of Koji Hanada, and how Kuroda met Rachel Asker, or the bodyguard of Amanda Hughes, who we now clearly see is Ruby Wakasa.
It's like basically it's basically our 3 guys at modern day chess tournament with 1 eye each, or at this other chess tournament in the past, all of them having 2 eyes at the time.
Yes.
So yeah, it's before all the shit went down basically. But it's where she was like, her background is fucking farcical. Her father used to be this American diplomat's bodyguard, but he died in the line of duty, and her ma died also in some other related things. So she's like, I'm going to turn into a bodyguard when I grow up, and I'm going to be your bodyguard. And I was like, did your dad die doing that? It's like, yes, I will train from a small child to be a bodyguard, which is why I'm so good at kicking ass as a a preschool teacher, I guess. But yeah, that's a weird backstory. But you know, it's Conan.
Yeah, and Kuroda's involvement is that he just happens to be there because of the chess tournament. He's hanging it. He's basically agreed to go with one of his pals from American law enforcement. They're just getting there together to drink. They're not doing any sort of
Yeah,
um,
like he's a fan of chess. Like that's why he came to this tournament because
yeah,
he likes playing chess. He likes watching chess. He likes chess. So he doesn't need
yeah.
much reason to be there.
Uh,
And
yeah, and so they don't get murdered in this part of the flashback, do they?
no,
No.
rum is it? It's rum, isn't it? I'm not
Yeah,
mixing up my alcohols again.
yes, because we get Rum in the present day going, oh, this reminds me when we hacked into the cameras of another chess tournament. Uh, and then he starts having
And
the same flashback.
yeah, he's having the same flashback. It's like go kill, ah, ha, ha, ha. You know, he's been an evil bastard in the past and the present. So
Yes, because he's calling in Shanti and Korn, two snipers, to come and kill Rumi.
and although it's like them kind of like doing their sniper position is like, okay, I guess we're just gonna have to shoot her when she shows up, and you're like, okay, it's starting to rain, everyone's putting up their umbrellas, but she's specifically given her umbrella to other people because she used her super strength to destroy the other teacher's umbrella, and I was like, why did you do that? I guess it's like a cover or something, yeah. But
Yeah.
we'll see the rest of the flashback and how she gets out of being sniped from the opposite building from the chess tournament.
Yes. Yeah, apparently there's like some YouTube videos to tie in, but I don't think they're subtitled. I've not double checked yet. So,
Okay.
of each of the three characters, and we also learn what her eye problem is, what the condition is that affects her.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was a
Um,
glass eye for the longest time, but it's
yeah, so
a
did I.
blindness in one eye.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, yeah,
because she's just starting to come down with it in the flashback. Um,
yeah. It's some kind of thing where it's stress causes you to go blind in one eye or lose vision in one eye temporarily and maybe permanently in the modern day. Yeah.
yeah, I was having to go because this has been previously flashbacked to before,
Mm,
but from the point of view of um, I think it's Hamada who was taken in because obviously he's taken into the Hanada family,
mm, mm,
uh, Shikichi, so he's related this story from his point of view before. And then the Akasa rum was the clue, which was why they thought that uh, Akasa is rum for a while.
mm.
Um, but I think this is going to deal with all of that entirely.
Mm.
And also, I think when I was going through like all the clues we know so far, that I begin to think that the old man who's following the Akai family around and um the 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 family that Momji belongs to, the other conglomerate, the other big rich Japanese family,
Yeah.
because we've seen him spy on them. The only time he's been satisfied with the people he's spying on is when he's spying on that conglomerate and when he's been spying on Mary, and then he made whoever it was made sure that the videos were wiped from the internet for Mary. I
Mm.
think he's Hanada's dad because
Okay.
we know that the Hanada family. We already know the Hanada family is connected to the Momji family from an earlier episode, and obviously we also know now that the Hanada family is connected to the Akai family as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's the only, and he's a character who we've never seen, but is supposedly alive. Uh, and that would make sense as I've got the secret suspicion that none of the old men we're seeing in the mysterious old men, none of them are going to be the actual mysterious old man we're looking for. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, maybe that will turn out to be the mysterious baby, um, who annoyingly does not have his own page on on the wiki yet. It's a recent manga character of the mysterious baby. There's this baby who you only ever see silhouetted like he's a culprit, which is
Yeah. No. You. You should have the baby on the interconnected, like on the pin board to see like where
Yes.
this baby like lines up to everyone else. Yeah, that's an important thing because we have that for the Shonen Plus thing. There's obviously the baby in Astro Baby, obviously. But
Yes.
what's the baby in Mad? I keep forgetting the baby's name. It's
Oh
got a
yeah, I
great
forget.
name.
Yeah, I forget what the baby's name is, but yes, the baby does get his own pinboard entry onto that.
And it's just a baby. It has no like relevance to the plot. It's just that is a baby that is in the mix.
Yeah,
Need,
it's a
need, need, need representation for babies in this, you know.
Yeah,
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 it's the motivation for one of the villains is keeping that baby
yeah.
alive, because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, I think he would go even further insane than he currently is.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
we got
it's Piggly. I remember the baby's name
Piggly,
now. Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I couldn't remember. That was going to drive me mad otherwise.
And Shirley, episode 11. I'd like to add some beauty to life. Uh, as usual, sort of two stories. The first half is Anne starting teaching, and essentially the story is the perils of teaching in a town where everyone knows how you behaved as a child.
Yeah.
It's so good. That's really fucking good. It's like because it was just like, oh, her life's going pretty good right now, and she's like, no, they know all my shit. And the troublemaker's like, didn't you have to stand in the corner a bunch, miss, for bashing a guy's head open? Like she's like, a little bit, yeah, you're exaggerating a bit, but you know,
The
you
kids
got me.
aren't like when I was at school. That's because you were that kid.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
it's okay. There's little Paul Irving, you know, he's just such a little swat getting her flowers.
yeah.
But like, oh, Paul Irving, you remind me of a young me,
The
16
way
and a
I
half years old.
Yeah, because she's supposed to be grown up at this stage, but like it's the thing of when you're a kid and you're kind of like growing into adulthood and like again you're looking at kids now and it's just like God, was I fucking like that? And like you have yourself in a different perspective. But then the other half of the story is all adults are equally as stupid as children, and they always have been. You just didn't realize it because you were a child. Because you see them now, and you're like, oh, they're all just fucking dipshits with their own bollocks going on. Oh,
Well,
like yeah.
it comes into focus when we go, oh, we're trying to gather money for, like, we started this little group to improve the village. We're going to, like, you know, improve that from the community hall there. So we're go and see if we can get people to club him, get them some money. And so we get given the road with all the weirdos on it. So we can knock on these doors and get all the fucking weirdos on the island.
And it's the fun of thing of they've formed a committee for improving the town because they love the town. They grew up in it. We saw their youth. They had a lovely youth, and they'd like to improve it and keep it going. But everyone's just like, this is just a place for young people to hook up, huh? These young people, they want to give us money
Yeah.
for nothing. And that's really funny. They're like, no, we genuinely have a committee. We're genuinely trying to.
Yes.
We might hook up, but
But
that's unrelated to the
yes,
committee business, right? That's
I will say the committee though itself did give me flashbacks to doing the Young Enterprise scheme in sixth form of
yeah.
essentially these 16 and 17-year-olds all sort of acting like they're adults and know know what they're doing
Yeah,
just because they're in a
it's
meeting.
it's practice. Yeah,
It
yeah.
is, yeah. Also, this was like the first one. I was like, oh, I can see a direct line from this story to things which happened in the comedy, the sitcom Letterkenny. But again, it's probably just because it's the thing of these sort of rural Canadian towns and rural
Yeah.
towns, lots of places. Because obviously, it's probably they brought them over from Europe when they went to Canada, of just being
Mm.
having around the hall. We have the hall. That's what they're raising money for, is to renovate the hall. Uh, and I was like, yeah, I can see the line. I was trying
We
to see
need a
any.
hall.
Yes, I was trying to see any commentary on that, and it's very hard to because that I think it was the Anne with an E adaptation, which was on Netflix, cast someone from uh, Letterkenny. Uh, so it's just
All
full
right.
of Irish news items about
Mm.
this young girl's going to Canada to play Anne Shirley. I was like, oh, great. Oh, this is no hope. This is completely skewed all my search results now. Uh,
Mm.
Oh dear. You
but
know,
yes, they meet two
it's good to get out and
sisters.
see people, though.
Yeah,
Gives you hope that not everybody is necessarily going to be like a crank or a weirdo. Some of them are quite nice.
Mm. I wish someone as a child told me it's like, no, adults are just as fucked up and weird as you. you just can't see it yet because you don't have the experience to go, oh, one of these sisters is nice, and the other one's a prick. Oh, okay, gotcha. Hopefully the prick's not in. The prick's in. Oh, she's such a dick.
Just a
You get the
pessimist, like, always seeing the fault in everything you see, no matter what you. Sure, what's the point of paying money? Sure. That's money you
everything's only getting worse. Just
why
awful,
bother?
awful person.
Don't expect better.
You got the wife guy who's fortunately his wife is away, and also kind of fortunately he's trying to bake a cake, so we can intervene in that way and get a few dollars off him.
There's a fella Lorenzo up the road, like, he's usually a bit of a tight arse, but he's just had a son he's been waiting for all his life. So if you get him right now, he'll pay anything you want. It's like, oh yeah, we gotta get there double quick. Come on.
They were going to get him like next week, but they're like, we gotta get him now while the fucking getting's good. Because what has he got, like $8 or something like that? And he's like, finally, I have a son, and he's perfect. And they're like, what if his son is ugly? Oh, his son is perfect. Okay, cool. We don't have a problem getting money off him. And they're not just trying to scrounge it; they are doing it for the benefit of the community. But yeah, it's funny, these just interactions with the weirdos in the weird part of town, basically.
Yeah. The guy and the parrot, I think.
Oh, that prick! Yeah. Because the opening thing is like, Anne Shirley is still as much of a fuck up. She accidentally sold the neighbor's cow to or something like that, thinking it was her cow because it broke through the fence, or it was some mix-up. And this guy's real fucking sore about it, even though she thought she had it patched up. No, he is still mad about it, and he has taught his bird to be rude to Anne.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more so he's just fucking grousing that fucking little red-headed lass.
Yeah.
Busting my shit up front saying, red-headed snippet, because, oh, shut up, Polly. We have company.
Yes, because he's like, I support your group, but I can't afford to give you any money for your group, but I support what you're doing. I think he's like a recurring character in this book. So, he recurs within this episode. So, yep. I think that's it for this week. Next week.
Well, that's it. That, like, to kind of going around, like, having a little kind of debrief there, because remember, Anne and Gilbert are pretty tight right now. So, and Hill was like, well, we didn't get them all, but like, still, people are quite generous. It gives me some kind of hope for the world out there. And Gilbert's going, yeah, I get what you mean. Like, like my dad, he's doing better now, but like, everyone came out and helped him. So I think, after I want to be a doctor, like beyond the teaching. I think I want to, like, help people out. It's just like, well, I can't be as grand as that, Suzanne. I just want to, like, do my little best to introduce a little beauty into the world every day. Just a little bit. And the Gilbert is under 50 saying, well, you're already doing that, then. Yeah.
It's good. It is a nice progression from it. It actually flows. I was wondering if like the death of your man was going to be like too much of a stopping point kind of thing. It's like no, it flows nicely into the rest of the story. It goes quite well.
Well, if you feel like from the start of the episode, this is where, like, we're starting a new book now. We're picking up. Here's a little reminder of what everybody's doing. We're off teaching. Essentially.
Then we've got Manga Biyor Go episode 11, Onmyoji Detective versus Ghost Stories. Now, because I hadn't hadn't even been able to see all of season 4, I hadn't realized that this is a recurring character until I saw that they are the last episode of season 4 of Manga Biyor as well. He is a detective who is called in to take care of spirits, and he's absolutely shit scared of them.
I'm just gonna watch this show, and then I'm gonna go back and watch the other Manga Biyor because I'm enjoying, like, not understanding the premise of all these recurring characters at all. But I liked when he was called in to solve all the school's mysteries, and he was like, I thought it'd be something like there's like chestnuts in the hall or something. They're like, what the fuck? Why would we call it a medium for that? And he's so scared he's often vomiting at the thought of there being a piano that plays itself, that kind of thing. Spooky as fuck.
He has to summon his Shinsen Gami, who is Nyanko-san, not to be the joke in the first one is not to be confused with Nyanko Sensei. That's a different person. And their game is, yes, I'm a cat, but you can't pet me. Okay, if you want to pet me, you got to pet me under the chin, and then later on, why aren't you petting me?
It's a very hot and cold cat, like some cats are. Yeah,
And it
but
turns
different
out
talks.
in the all 7 of the mysteries are the same ghost, uh,
Mm.
who
It
is
was that
also
kid who showed up in the daytime meeting, or it was like poop, poop, poop in the door. And it's like I fucking hate that kid. And it's like the you could solve the mystery at the start because the teacher didn't recognize the kid. And it's like it's a very small school, so the teacher should recognize one of the students. And what was it like? He died because he used to say poop, 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 but it was a prestigious school and that wasn't allowed. So he reverted from an old man into a child after he died, so he could
yes,
say
and
poop
and, and
around.
the head and the headless ghost was because he was only capable of disappearing his head. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
and also, it turns out to be an old man, not a child.
yeah. No, he died as an old man. He didn't die as a child, but he just wanted. He always wanted to
Much
be
less
able to
sad
shout
than that.
poop down the halls of his old school. Yeah,
Uh, and then this is all taken care of, not by our detective or the cat. There is a
no.
smoking monkey, as she summons as well, who seems to do the bulk of the work.
Look, he's taking another puff.
It's very good. Yep.
Uh, yeah, the first one's funny as well. Then we got Kowloon Generic Romance, episode 11. Episode 11.
Mm.
Uh, my first note is, what sort of pharmaceutical company are they running over there? As we learn that Misaki's tattoos and splitting his tongue like a snake were necessary for him to be adopted into the family.
It's a
I
legitimate business.
Yeah, I think the kind of pharmaceutical company, right, is that makes you tattoo a giant snake all up your back and split your tongue to make you look like a snake is and also puts a big fucking crap, I've forgotten the word for it. It's tetrahedron in the sky that reflects dead people. It's an evil pharmaceutical company. Like it's obviously an evil
What are they
pharmaceutical
doing,
company.
allowing their product to be dealt out to letterbox of of a door in a dingy dark alleyway? I ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Mm,
I'm not
mm,
sure you're going to get any answers.
mm.
Because they've got to finish this cartoon without having an answer from the comic. We get an answer this week though. We get a couple. We get you see
Yeah.
you're able to
Yes, yeah.
enter your augmented reality cityscape if you have regrets in your heart. It's not an attachment to
Mm,
Kowloon. It's whether you have
yeah.
regret in your heart. Uh,
Because that's
Yulong
the thing
finally
that's messing with
realizes.
him, where he's just
Mm.
like, okay, they all have like an attachment, because obviously he like growing up there, but it's like I like growing up there too. Like, why the fuck can he get in and he can see it and I can't? And it's when he starts thinking about, I think it's their ma basically that he's like, oh, it's regret, and it's like, is that
Mm.
why he's not going into the Dr. Wong's clinic in Kowloon? Because like a version of their mom might be there, and that would be really fucked up to
Also, Dr.
see.
Wan is he's staring at the photo of him and Yuki when they're like this little ragamuffins off the street, and it's probably just better times now. They're fucking off scheming, and I'm not too old to stop them now.
Yeah, yeah. But you don't
Uh,
want to walk in there with your mom in the clinic, or a reflection or whatever of your mom in the clinic. Yeah.
Mm.
but yeah, more importantly, while Yao Mei and Xiao Hei are at the other Xiao Hei, the fake Xiao Hei's house. Meanwhile,
That's very funny that like while trying to cheer up Xiaohei was like, I can't just kill her, and she shows up as like, hey Xiaohei, you need a hand? She's like, oh fuck, I could kill you and get everything I wanted. And she gets called, it's like, hang on, I gotta take this. Oh, it's other Xiaohei. She's having problem with her smoke
yes,
alarm, and you're the smoke alarm guy. So let's fucking go and
It's
sort that
just
out.
like because it's you know often a look you see from Kujirai. It's like I've got just a job for you, my friend.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like yanking
Uh,
him along. It feels like something like, oh, that feels like a bit like out of character, maybe, but like you're becoming your own person. You're just like, going to
yeah.
be spontaneous and just drag somebody along into your antics.
It's also like her becoming her own person, and like he to it at the start of that conversation, she's just a method for him to get everything he's lost, everything that he regrets and never wanted. But then her personality like subsumes him, and she's like, no, I got to drag you into my shit. This is the shit we're doing with you now.
yeah, and that would be fine if it wasn't for Gwen having a conversation with Kudo on the other side of town,
Yeah.
and something comes on the TV about cloning a cat. Um, which causes him to reveal that uh,
Yeah, Gwen says something along the lines of, "It's like it's weird this Kowloon because it copies a bunch of things, but not everything. Like I used to leave a cardboard box with a blanket out for a stray cat at the back, and Kudo's like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they're just paying up now because of like they're gone over to Xiaohe minis like
Yeah.
bits of place, and it's nice, a cute little moment there because it's like Xiaohe present day is just like, just looking around. This is my own stuff, my own place, the old me,
This is
so
everything that he
adorable,
lost.
and I'm getting caught up by it. And then like the two lads were exiting the cabin and saying, "Hey man, thanks for getting the bill. Yeah, sure fun." It was where are they? Oh, they're over at Xiaohe's, like they're his old place. His old place. Oh Jesus! Actually, did you not know Xiaohe was a dude? No, I thought it was just a little girl. I thought you just fucking around with me. Yeah, fake key. I'm out here. And then
Gwen
poof,
sees
it's gone.
the Poofy's gone, and also Gwen sees the boxes behind the goldfish bar.
Yeah.
It's like
Where'd that come from?
So it's Kudo's impression of the place that says that's why his favorite dumpling restaurant always stays in business, where the other ones are constantly fucking changing. Yeah.
Yeah, so he is the dreamer in this dream, and it's his
Yeah.
perspective that manages the reality and the existence of the zirconiums. At which point I then also wrote down, is Gudo the dead son? And I don't think that is the case.
He seems very much alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was questioning whether the dead son was even dead in the first place. Was what I was questioning with that. But I don't think that is the answer, and I also suspect the answer we get next week is also not the answer because they had to make one.
An answer.
It's an
they have
answer.
to come up with something. Yeah.
But some of the things that I was like, I can kind of see where it's going. Like, like I can see as well where like there's space to kind of feed out a little bit more of that mystery, and then it's like, no, do you get what's going on yet? Do you get what's going on yet? It's just like kind of that. It's just come in one more hint, fun saying. Now it's over here right now, so we're going like some stuff for you, so you don't feel cheated or it doesn't feel like completely out of nowhere. If it's like, oh, actually that would make sense. That makes sense actually.
Yeah, and I like the idea we were saying before. It's like the rules seem different for every character, and it's because we have Kudo's like an unreliable narrator, an unreliable world builder, so the rules are functioning different for everyone. Yeah.
I think because the final bit is that real Xiaohei and Yaomei are going to head to Hong Kong. Xiaohei's going to well, I'm supposed to do this murder and I didn't do it, and this other stuff I didn't do, so I'm not going to go to Hong Kong. I'm going to flee the country as soon as we get out of here. Yaomei leaves and says, promises Reiko.
Yeah, like I've got connections with my mom. I could probably use those to get you out of the fucking out of Hong Kong and like somewhere safe.
They've pressed a load of fake Xiaohei's garments and fully dresses and gowns. Here, you got to take some swimming photos. This is part of you, man. But of course, as they kind of walk away, they start dissolving and fading off.
Yes. And Xiaohei kind of going like, no, it's okay. I've kind of resolved myself to this. But like when he checks the inseam of his vest, it still has the little frilly bits that she added in it, and it's the same frilly bits that he shared with young him. It's like, no, I do like the frilly things. Like it's like that can be a part of him. That's a modern part of him. But that's not. The dresses are something from his past that he's left behind. This is something that he carries with him now, and therefore it can exist outside of Kowloon.
However, now you're willing to face your regrets. You no longer have any need of Kowloon.
Yes.
Yeah, Kowloon is ruins to them now. Yeah.
They can't turn around and give Reiko the good news, and we see from Reiko's point of view that it's just a sandstorm there now outside.
It's I try to answer some questions too in one way. Is it's like there's some mechanism in place for one saying.
Yeah.
Well, if stuff like you have on you, you get there, just like falls apart. Why didn't Yame's clothes dissolve as soon as she exited the reference?
I think because this scene does not appear like this in the comic.
It's a metaphor because the dresses were like the Xiaomei that he'd left behind, so they were something he's put in the past, like regrets, like he can't see old Kowloon, so that disappears behind him. Whereas her clothes now are the clothes she wears now, and this is the new her that she has made. Therefore, she exists. Also, she didn't become an emaciated skeleton for eating real food for several months. It's like the rules are magic. It's fucking magic, basically. This pharmaceutical company invented magic.
You're just trying to manifest the clothes. That's it.
Yeah. I think from what I've seen of the comic, I think the obviously it's moving very quickly compared to how the comic goes, and I
Yeah.
Oh,
think
gotcha.
the stuff they've cut out is Kudo being nostalgic, and I think
Yeah,
now
yeah.
we've had the reveal, I can see why that needs to be there.
Mm.
I guess by not including it in the show, you're kind of leaving that as a mystery. It's like Kudo's the dreamer kind of thing. But yeah, it fits within the theme of it as well, and it being left out is a big piece. Mm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. My suspicion is because there's been a lot in publicity for the live action movie this week,
Mm.
and I do wonder if the idea was, well, we want these two things to be together, and so this has to be a done in one thing. Obviously, it's a bit of 90s nostalgia as well for
Yeah, yeah,
manga adaptations
Having
having
original
original
endings.
endings.
yeah, yeah.
They're a
It
little
fits within
dissatisfying.
the 80s 90s look of
Yes.
the thing as well. So I'm still probably going to enjoy it at the end, but maybe it'll
Yes.
do the successful thing of make me read the book.
Yeah,
I think
for
that's. I
sure.
mean, obviously, it's doing a much better job than Go Loser Ranger. I'm probably going to read the book on that as well, but as in terms of an ending. But I was watching this and Go Loser Ranger, and I'm going, yeah, that trillion game ending looks better and better. Looks better and
Yeah,
better each time because they just
it's
took it to the
rushed, but
wire
like yeah,
and then just gave an original last 5 minutes rather
yeah.
than trying to manipulate the story too much.
It was a
Um,
bit easier with that with its premise of like future past, future past. Like,
yes,
but
yes.
yeah, it still did it a lot better. Sure.
Uh, Then we got Witch Watch, episode 11, Dogs and Raindrops, part 1, in which we got a warlock and a werewolf dealing candy drugs to turn people into dogs, sort of.
Figurative.
Figurative dogs. A pack of wild dogs who are just going to.
See,
I
it
don't
wasn't
know.
literal dogs. It was figurative. It wasn't literal raindrops. It was the candy raindrops, and it was just like,
It was a
okay,
poem.
yeah, it's a metaphor. Actually, no, there is a werewolf involved, so I guess that does count as dogs. But
There's a werewolf involved. He's beating up Kanchi because he's trying to like well. It says, "Oh, I see you fought knowing you might lose just to get like a read on him so that like I would be able to succeed from." And saying, "Yeah." But also, it's wanted, it was a pride thing. I just wanted to fuck him up, I
yeah,
had to give it a shot. You see what I'm thinking, right?
I do appreciate it. I was like, no, actually Kanji does get some moments of being cool. This is one. He's mostly going to be a fucking Aegis for the rest of the show, but that's okay. He gets a couple of wins in there.
Yeah, that's all happening when MuMuu was called over to the Otogi residence saying, "Yo, what's up? I'm a witch. And put it away. I'm a friend. I'm just going to lay it all out for you. What's happening? What I've seen."
And it's kind of like we know there's like evil warlocks and like she explains what a warlock is.
The
It's a witch
history
that
of
does
the witch and warlock wars.
a witch who does
a lot of
evil
wars.
enough is a dark magic and then turns into a warlock. That's basically the gist of it. One of the things that her laying it out, but also our girl does recognize her family name. I was like, oh, that's the witch family from the town over. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
They
you do
also
know your local
explain
witches.
that witches normally have a spell cast on them called Alert that causes you
Yeah,
to realize if you're heading down a warlock path, so you can
yeah,
correct.
Or even when one's nearby.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, and this is kind of to establish that normally the people who get turned into warlocks are people who've got magical powers and haven't been trained to be witches.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
They, like basically after the witch warlock wars, they made sure all witches like alert. That's just on because as Meow kind of says, is like that's the first time I've never actually had it go off, and I was like, oh fuck. So now I know what the fuck that is. And she also explains that Nico is special because she doesn't explain what her specific magic is. Generally, witches can do like one or two, couple of spells, like not fucking many things. Doesn't say that she can only turn into a cat. She can do like 1,000 fucking spells, dude. Have you not noticed that? Like she can do a wild amount of magic, weird shit too.
But come on, they don't know how this goes. This is magic, all right. They don't know
But
the
that's why the
rules to it.
warlocks want her because she has like extra spells,
She's
extra
all the
magic, that kind of
powers.
stuff. She also demonstrates this by healing Khan from getting the shit kicked out of him by the werewolf guy. And it's like, oh, you can only heal something shortly after the injury. And I was like, that's important to establish for later in the
yes,
episode.
the motivation for the villain.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So,
by werewolf as
the-
well. It's
I-
just like it's like a big hot dude with white hair, basically, like a big muscly dude, basically. Yeah.
that's it.
Not
It's the
not an
one.
actual like a wolf man kind of thing.
He's the one fun pushing it for stuff onto the streets.
Hmm.
So Moy decides, okay, Nikki, you gotta stick with me. Like we got a whole lot of special stuff with me, and then Meow Nim is like, oh, that's very impressive. You see, it's a kind of a cool-headed dude. Yeah, cool-headed. There's immediately like a montage of him that's like getting got up against the wall and saying, who said on you drugs? This guy get the pushers and the dealers and the fucking users out this guy out of school. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Smashing up walls, everything.
Yeah, because Khan does recognize that it's like, no, he's seething on the inside, and obviously he's
Yeah.
letting that
Whereas
out
they
on
come in,
people.
chasing one down, it's just like fucking Nico said, oh, I'll use a spell to turn the ground into like slippery jelly. Like that's gonna fucking help. Especially when like the guy getting away. Ha, didn't you know? I used to be a former skater. Haha.
And
Keigo is just zooms up like the lonely hipster man. It's everyone, didn't you know I was a former figure skating champion? It's like, I didn't know.
so they tackle that guy to get the information off him. It's basically that he contacted them like through line or something like that, like online, and he'll re-up you the sweets. Apparently the sweets do not show up on a drug test because they are enchanted chocolates, so they're not really going to show
no
up.
test for that.
Yeah.
But
It's
Keigo,
perfectly
why did you
legal.
do that? It's just like, well, like I've always been like, I used to be like a figure skater, as you just saw, but then I got into a car accident, and my mom was injured, and I was injured too. Like, it's fine, but I can't skate anymore. So I became this kind of lonely hipster guy. Well, he admitted it. He admitted it. He's a lonely hipster, and it's just like I've always been sort of very passive, and then like kind of meeting me and stuff you got involved with it. It's just like I feel like I'm with friends and want to help you, Which is gonna, and it's like the guy's like, oh, he's like, he's a bit of a bit of a loser sometimes, a bit pretentious, but he's he's a nice guy really. He's gonna hurt a lot more in about 10 minutes time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They get
Nemu
the call.
looks for the gate because she realizes that, hey, hang on, there's no woods around here. And I'll end up in those
It's like
woods.
I was wondering like I don't want to be caught. I got caught as a cat, and then I was like in the woods, and I was like, so the gate isn't like on a human scale. I need to be cat sized to activate the getting transported to a magical forest where he's the warlock's hiding out.
Yeah, so I'll go back there and get myself caught. That's not our plan, but that's what happens.
Yeah, and the warlock's like, witch, hey werewolf, kill it, and werewolf's like, no man, I didn't sign up, like, because he's not under direct, like the warlock's saying like, you are my familiar, you must kill the witch, do what I said, and he's like, no, I'm here specifically to, shonen battle the protagonist. I'm here to fight strong guys. That's my thing.
Yes.
So he doesn't actually like distributing the dog drugs but he's hoping this will start fighting. Basically, is what he's hoping.
He wants to fight an ogre. Is what?
Yeah, that's the main goal for him. Is not killing a random cat witch. That's not fun.
And so he'll get a chance to fight him as Moy is led into a trap by the alter ego of the werewolf, Keigo Megami, who's been promised something made out of a witch's umbilical cord.
A magical healing potion.
Yes.
Yeah, there's God damn it, there is a word for that specific kind of potion. It doesn't matter, but yeah, it's made out of the umbilical cord. It's cure all, basically. It cures anything. Yeah.
Panacea.
Panacea. I think that might have been it, actually. Yeah, like a drug that'll cure anything. And since because he does ask, he's like, hey, so can you do healing magic? And it's just like, nope. And he's like, cool. It's gonna. Oh, I gotta tie my shoelaces. And Moy falls into the magical forest space, and he jumps in after him. It's like, hey, much like ogres have evolved to be like people, werewolves have evolved also to be people. Also, I don't gotta look at a full moon. I just have to look at a crescent moon. And he flips up his wristband, and it's like he's got a little crescent there. It's like, I just have to look at a crescent. Now I'm a big buff guy. What are you gonna do about it?
Fight you. That's what I'll do about
probably.
As you kind of know, there's some decency there because like you're presuming that it's all right, Keigo. Like we've asked about the healing thing, we can't do anything about your leg. It's like, yeah, sure. It's just like an uncertainty there. Fun saying it wasn't asking for me. and he told you his backstory. Who might he be asking for?
But the other thing is like that that kind of gave you the hint that he's looking for a way to not get into a fight about this. Is like, can I get healed now and then I don't need to betray you guys? No, I guess I gotta betray you guys. So yeah, that's I think that's where we leave it off, and then their plan of Khan doing support from the edges and Moy being the guy in the thick of it is like, well, Moy's gone now, so I guess we gotta change the plan because
there's a crowd of 50 possessed young men that's out tearing up the town. Should probably take responsibility for this. Like even in the episode previous going, like usually you kind of fuck around, someone saying, "Hey, can't you stop fucking around? This is like the end of the series. It's getting serious now." But my jokes, no, shut up.
It's all right. We're back next season. We'll let you plenty of time for your jokes then.
After a while, maybe a pretty cool looking fight, just judging from like the little bits you get in the preview. So
yeah.
I hope the fight is cool looking because this episode's animation felt kind of pedestrian.
Yeah, they're trying to get a lot of plot stuff out of the way more so than anything else.
And I know partly that's because I'm watching it after watching YAIBA, and everything seems pedestrian after watching YAIBA.
Well,
yeah.
It's YAIBA's fault. Then you gotta just like space. You gotta go up and down the gears, man, or is you gonna just completely shred your sensibilities.
I'm just gonna go full speed all the time. He was doing that fun thing where like just skips putting people moving so fast there's no in betweens. This week on YAIBA. Go Loser Ranger episode 22, a special bond, Hibiki and Sesera. At least
I'm curious to hear how this went now.
This had some of the cool scenes which should have been mixed in with last week's episode. It had the thing I really wanted to see. I was hoping that the 3-second rule scene of someone being decapitated and going 3-second rule, her head's back on her shoulders.
My head didn't hit the ground for long, so it's reattached. That's how my power works.
That's it. That's all I can really remember of this. The brother and the sister reunite after he's almost gets killed. There's the two lovey-dovey people turn out to be bosses who are nice bosses and they don't want to fight, but they're forced to fight because goddamn these rangers want to fight us.
They're that gravity.
That's the way like bad property goes for sure.
They're that gravity monster from one of the prior episodes. So the Blue Rangers are rushing it, and one of them saves them from getting crushed by a kaiju. And it's like, "Our love will be eternal." Also, we're going to turn into a boss monster since our legs have been crushed by a kaiju.
Yes.
And they're like, "Since you did save us, we're going to let you off." It's like, "I will never let a boss monster live." And they're like, "I guess we got to fucking kick her ass then." And it's like, what can we do? And that's when the blue guy who at the start of the episode is like, "I guess I'm not going to get paid," does show up, even though he's not going to get paid. And he does his job like he was supposed to the whole time anyway. So good. I guess he's a good Blue Ranger after all. Arc done. That's done and dusted. We're next thing.
Oh yeah, Double X. The last remaining patroller shows up to confront Double X.
She's trying to talk the real version of the redheaded guy. She's trying to talk him down, basically. Like it's like, if you don't run away, I'm gonna kill you. And she's obviously not gonna kill him because she loves the guy, but that's her threat. But yeah, she's being threatened by the patrollers. I guess he's showing up because it's the end of the show. We gotta
have him in again.
Yeah.
And then
bird chicken thing. Yeah.
And the head of the organization fills himself full of the monsterization drug and starts to turn into the giant monster from the opening credits.
Yeah, he also offered the Hibiki and your one from the Green Squad like the monster drugs. Here, you could turn into monsters like us. And she's like, "No way, I will never turn into a monster." And she crushes the syringe in her hand. And I was like, that's the way to get monster drugs in your system. I'm just like, that was a terrible plan. But yeah,
it has to go into an artery, otherwise it doesn't take. You got you gotta like get a good spot in your cheek and your arse cheek and get it in there, otherwise it won't go in.
What's the other thing? The red guys defeat the snake guy in the dream world. Doesn't matter. He's dead. I'm not sure if they're alive. The
Yeah.
guy with the scary face, he has a past with them when her legs were crippled by the monster cult massacre. He was in the same orphanage as them growing up, and he's like, you just got crappy legs that don't work. Just give up. And they will never give up. And that's why they're eternal enemies that has never been established up to this point, except for animosity, like maybe in season 1 that came up like once.
Yeah, the your guy who turns into the snake, I believe in the comic he survives. He does not survive here.
Oh, they needed to just go, all right, just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. It's fucking done. We go
And
wrap it up, wrap it up.
Okay, all right. Get your check
Just
on the
D
door.
is nowhere to be seen this entire fucking episode.
no, because he was all this stuff is happening in
Where's
the comic.
Stevie
This
right
is
here?
interspersed with the stuff
Yeah.
he was doing last
Yeah.
episode. So that's and
running around fighting everyone with a brick, which is honestly like the funnier part of that last episode. So yeah,
one episode left to fight Death Messiah, who is the monster that he's turning into.
Death Messiah, you know, we're throwing away that name on that now.
it's probably more used better in the comic, but yeah, this is such a fucking. It's a fascinating car crash, but it is a mess of a thing. Yeah.
I guess too much of a wait in between, like, you know, I couldn't keep riding that wave.
Yeah.
It's hitting
Too
the
long in
harsh
the car
rocks.
park. Too long in the car park. I think that's what fucked it up.
I don't think so. I think it needed to keep that car park pace, quite possibly.
But they didn't have the time. They were told halfway through the school thing, it was like, yeah, wrap it up, guys.
Yeah, it feels that way, but I'm not sure that is the case, but it definitely feels that way. So we'll skip over Sword of the Demon Hunter still. I take it you didn't watch that, Niall?
Didn't have time. We haven't got time for the A plus stuff here.
I'll give you a quick rundown of the last 2 episodes. There's a new kind of booze that is turning people into demons, and they have to team up, and it's your one with the blonde hair who's selling the booze to people, and so I guess it's going to wrap up that plot next episode. I'm still watching it, but we can leave it off the dock.
Yeah, because it's going into the next. Oh, what it's doing? Episode 30 is June the 24th. There's an episode 14 on July the 15th.
I thought it ended on 13. That's weird.
Yeah,
keeps going, huh?
Okay.
Then we've got My Hero Academia Vigilantes, episode 11, The Day Off. Day of, is it? I wrote day off. There we go.
Well, I suppose it could be a day off to go and visit your department store concert.
I think it was the event.
It's a public holiday now. That's how Fabricoso went to get this thing like put together.
Yeah.
Wrote to the deal, got it passed. There we go. Everyone's off today. No excuses.
The best thing in this episode is the love at first sight between the dance crew leader and the band leader.
The rock and roll band, like the dance troupe were like, we're just about to dance. We don't need fancy costumes. I'm the head of this dance troupe, and we're here about dance and nothing else. That's what we stand for. And the rock guy shows up. We're not going to show up at this pissant fucking show. This is bullshit, man. We're about the rock and roll. And they both see each other, and they're like, oh my god, I'm madly in love with this person. It's very teenager.
Yes.
It's very good.
And also Koichi repeatedly just fucking puncturing the moves, just like putting a dagger right to its heart of us, saying, hey, you cut your hair short. Why, you sorry about something? It's just like, Koichi, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Everyone's slapping him in the head now. Like even like the twins they bring in from the Idol group, they're fun slapping him in the back of the head for freaking fucking. Well, more than that, they're like kicking him in the arse.
Like looking back at this, I was thinking Koichi's like not my favorite character in it, but then he keeps doing stupid shit like this that's really fucking funny. I was like, no, Koichi's a really good character. I forget that he's like an addition to jokes or a setup for jokes a lot of the time.
He's a well-meaning oaf, which doesn't really marry well with his like irresponsibility about perfect speed and agility.
Yeah, socially an oaf. Yeah.
But yeah, I like the fact that the two who get the love at first sight, there's enough shared character design elements in their faces that it's got that thing of the couples who look similar. They're seeing themselves in the person they're instantly attracted to.
Yeah, I was thinking it was just like they're from like their design aesthetic is like they're from a different show, and that's the aesthetic of that show, and that's why those two pair off, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the pair of singers, one of them injures the ankle. The head of the dance troupe blames herself. and so they have to rearrange everything so it will work.
It's where
It's nice
Pop
as well
comes out to shine.
because
Is
initially the two were like going like, she can't even fucking sing. She's just like jumping up around like 'cause to make up for a lack of singing abilities. Like she shouldn't be the center, even though we're literally a pair. How can we be the center? It doesn't make sense. But like then Pop's like, I'll fucking just jump around. You stand there and be the center. The other one will have to do twice as much dancing to make up for it, but we'll get it going. So she kind of like surrenders her place as center stage
yeah,
for them.
what she's about like doing the grad and putting on a good show. Like
Yeah.
she's been practicing all week, she's been keeping Koichi up all night with her fucking rehearsals. It's like I gotta go to bed now. I know I'm your manager, I said to me, but I really gotta go to bed, please.
I got college in the morning. Come on, do me a favor.
Funny.
I like that they combined not every one of most of the different groups' names for the group name for the show, and they made them all wear hats because that was the rock band's theme. They all wear hats, and they're just like randomly in the background on the poster, like just randomly photoshopped in. It's really good.
But meanwhile, that guy who was Pop's big fan, who was turned into a monster before, has been turned into an even bigger monster. He's now a big eel man, and he's let out onto the streets and fights a Razorhead.
Unfortunately, Eraserhead now no longer has to take the invitation from Present Mike to show up to this fucking rinky-dink thing. It's like, oh, thank God, there's a villain attack. And then he's like, wait, I can't kick him because I keep sliding off him. I can't grab him because I keep sliding off him. If I put him in a net, he's an electric eel. He's not just a friggin' what they call it, hogfish or hagfish. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, lamprey or whatever like that.
Yeah. It's electricity and slime. So yeah.
Taking out like the electricity for the entire wars. Oh no, the show can't go ahead. More importantly, there's like a rampaging monster outside here.
And meanwhile,
and
she's gonna inject everybody at the gig and turn them into instant villains. And she's being
even though her boss specifically told her, "Don't fucking do that. We'll have to up
all for one
operations."
going, yo, I know we're evil, but chill out, all right? It's like, you go and make us look like cause a scene, make look all like jerks. It's like, well, fuck people up.
I want you to pump people full of drugs one by one to see if they have a cool quirk that I can steal. We don't need to fucking uproots in this fucking situation. We already need to find you a new bunch of parents to live out of their
What about
house
nitroglycerin? Can I put nitroglycerin in people? It's okay, do what you want.
And this is all like being overheard by Knuckle Duster. He's like, it's not nice to be told off, is it? You've been given a lecture. Anyway, young lady, you're coming home with me and go and see your mother.
He's doing the most threatening dad talking, but nice dad talking kind of thing as well, because it's him. Everything he says sounds threatening, and also he's got like,
you don't know. I want to hit you with this knuckle duster. The taser here is like is fucking industrial strength. If I hit you in the chest, it's just going to stop your heart. So I hope I punch you with this one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to connect with like a limb with the industrial grade zapper, because that will just numb it immediately, like, and possibly kill you. But this is the best I can do because I have no powers, as is previously established. Him just walking through that bee explosion as well, where it's like, okay, the first one was a big bee. The rest of this is just fireworks to try and scare me off.
I knew it. You didn't know that. You fucking guessed it. But that's fucking crazy. Crazy beats sensible every day of the week.
There's some really good fight stuff in this. It does the thing of the Batman grappling hooking around the buildings, and I was like, oh, he's like just running along the side of a building as he's like thing. Is like, yeah, it makes sense of the motion in a way that it doesn't make sense in most depictions of that kind of.
It's doing really good,
hero.
but it's like, the bandana, and it's like, it's not the eye holes. The eye holes are the eyes, and they move, and they are expressive. So when he's just like, having this like, he's fucking grimace his phone saying, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. It's legitimately quite unsettling.
It's very good.
And it ends with him pursuing her, doesn't it? And then that's our cliffhanger for next week. Then we got GQuuuuuX episode 11, Alphacide, in which
that doesn't sound good.
In which our heroines suddenly dawns on them they don't know why we're fighting. Hang on a second, we just allowed ourselves to be carried away by adults' plots, and we've ended
Different
up finding
people's
each other.
ambitions and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
But luckily, it comes back to bite some of those adults right in the arse. It's just like, damn, why did I give her a gun if I knew she was going to shoot me, but I wouldn't have done that?
Here's a gun. Here's a Gundam. You know what to do. I sure do. Pow, pow. It's like, no,
Ah!
don't do it like that. Come on.
Yeah, we get Char reveal pulls back his amazing fringe disguise. You didn't know it was me because I'd given myself bangs when I pushed them back.
I
You
knew
can
it
see
was
on
you,
Char, all
Char.
this time you've
Or
worn a
should I
mask. We
say,
wouldn't know you to see you.
Casvalboya.
Like, we wouldn't know what he looks like because he's worn a mask the whole fucking. Whatever, Char. Whatever. Okay. I'm sure that's a great fucking. Yeah. It's
Um,
very
Here's a real
funny.
plot here's a real plot that's been going on. It's just like, yes, I went into hiding, you see. I didn't vanish in that explosion at all. I've been plotting in the background and trying to take out you Zabbies, but someone's got ahead of me for it. Well, I'm right in front of you right now. And then Matthew falls through
Yeah.
the ceiling right in the middle of the discussion, like because he has like has a gun on him, and then poof.
Like,
It's-
they're. Sharon, your one's and Celia's confrontation is literally on a stage, like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this is perfectly framed. And
Why,
everything, and her
why
just
is
like,
there a stage in this space weapon thing?
because
Or
it was
are they in a colony?
because it was in Zeta Gundam. That's why it's happening. Because it was this is a scene which happened in Zeta, and so therefore it needs to happen again here. So people will go, "That's the scene which happened in the show I've seen before."
also it's dramatic, and also it's less dramatic when a child falls through the ceiling onto her
That's
fucking
the funny
face.
bit. Yes, is the
Like,
fact that
that's
it's
so
the
good.
it's the frame where she hits the stage, and it's the 2 frames before where she starts doing a Wile E. Coyote swim through the air as if this is going to stop her from hitting the stage.
Followed immediately by Nyan and the G-Friends going, Shuji, where's Shuji? It's just, there's like literally is like bursting through the wall in the middle of the plot that's been going all this time, and they don't have any regard. It also just sums up the thing that there's this whole like history and this plot going on. These two girls got thrown at them, so just bulldoze everything they put in front of them.
It is funny because, like, your one bulldozes it with comedy, whereas your one bulldozes it with a Gundam coming to the back of the wall. I'm here to save you, Madam President, and it's just like, what? That you literally fucking fucked up my shot. Like, that kind of. It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, Shuji, but meanwhile has been floating around as a glowing being. Shah thinks he's being possessed by the Lala that's in the rose. That does not turn out to be the case. He's wrong on that fact.
He gets a split-second magical girl transformation from his civilian disguise into this like sparkles, and he's in the get-up, and it's this sense of fun. Oh yeah, I guess like there's like the main Gundam Timeline is trying to like reassert itself, so he has to like.
Yeah,
That's what she remembers me as, is the way he justifies his magical girl transformation. Yeah.
that is the correct answer, as will be revealed next week. Yeah. So, in order to save Machu, Nyan shoots Cassilia with the gun
Without
that
even
she was
thinking about
conveniently
it, kind
given.
of. Celia's like, right, time to shoot that little girl, and Nyan just like shoots her with a gun she was given, and Nyan's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's because the speech she's giving her beforehand, you get like Nyan's sort of real, is this just bullshit? And then the moment the gun's pulled on her friend, and it's like, yeah, okay. And then she apologizes
She
for
knows what
shooting
choice
her.
she wants to make. She didn't expect herself to make that choice, so she apologizes. But it was still like, yeah, that was the choice I wanted.
I've been shooting a lot of people lately. It's just become a reflex.
Shah's decided that the Lala needs to die. Machu has decided to save Lala for Shuji. Then
Shirley and Bull and Xavier have been like scrapping like all around outside and turning like robot battle. But then it's kind of like there's just like being waves of fucking. There's a big fucking like gathering of fucking like energy coming off. I think like the Yoma Nug though.
It's glowing Minovsky particles. They've properly explained it finally what the Kira is in this episode.
Yeah, which only some people can see. And there's this like the readings here are saying like usually like when a Zeknova happens, it's energy being sent from here somewhere else. But this one's different. It's like there's something coming from the opposite direction, like towards us.
I was wondering about the glowing Minovsky particles. Like, was that trying to explain they're like ding, and the little lightning bolt comes out.
Yeah,
They literally are perceiving the Minovsky particles. Is that what they're trying to say is
I
happening
think,
every time that
yeah,
happens?
or they're
Hmm.
being the Minovsky particles are being agitated by whatever's happening with the energy flowing backwards
Yeah,
and forwards. I think.
and they're aware of it because they're
new types are
new
sensitive
types.
to us, and then like
Yeah.
no, it just puts them into that telepathic space. But it's just a nice way, like
Yes.
have a conversation, like having a twin
In
wolf
the middle
battle
of a
about this,
fight.
but it's like instantaneous like telepathic communication. So it's going to be really
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
and floating. This like when we're in this state, like new types your abilities are at their peak. And check it out. I can just like. Pew, there's Cassilia like trying stumbling through with a gunshot wound. I know precisely where she is now. I can go take her out.
Yeah. So we get Char's explanation is that the rose. He's like, this only existed in designs in our world, and it's got the
We
alpha
never finished this. Yeah, yeah.
Psychomu inside it, and I've got the alpha Psychomu inside the. I put it inside the red Gundam, and now there's two of them in this universe, and the universe doesn't like that, and that's why everything is reacting badly. Shuji says, "I've come from the other side, and I'm here to destroy your universe because it doesn't exist. It shouldn't exist." And then we see what it is that's coming from the other side.
They start playing that funky music.
Uh,
And while it's coming through the portal, it's like, oh, it's our old favorite. Good old OG Gundam, RX-78. The way
Yeah.
it's meant to look, not this like crazy red skeleton looking thing.
and then we get the ending theme from Char's counterattack.
Yep.
This is a
Jump to
lot
the
of fun,
top
man.
of jump to the top of iTunes just at the back of this episode. You did it, lads. It took you so many decades, but you did it.
There's a lot to like in this episode. There's a lot to frustrate you, and that will be my
Sure.
conclusion next week about the entire series. Because I have already watched the last episode, but I'll save that for next week.
For safety's sake, you had
yes, yes. And he does one thing that I really like, but like I said, next week we can talk about that. But this is a good episode. The Wile E. Coyote fall made it one of my favorite things I've seen this year.
I assume, like, I'm not going to go into conclusion stuff now, but I think if this was just an Elseworlds, an alternate reality telling, it was just like, it wouldn't be as fun. I think what makes it is the two girls. I think them being the chaos factor improves it for me.
It does.
It could, but it could be done like more with them. This episode
Yeah,
was a go away.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like they're trying to have it kind of both ways. If one's saying we're going to have like on this whole thing, art history plot, but like it's going to be very technical and complex, operating in the background, the shadows, and then the two girls just barge straight into it. Like, oh yeah, we're also about that, but we haven't really given much cause for development. It's such a fun thing that goes like, oh yeah, why are we fighting? Oh, why did I shoot you? They're not really like coming up with like what is their drive for doing this besides we're just this, I don't know, fucking
they're
this
been
fucks
swept
up
along by
with
this
teenage girls.
timey-wimey plot, but yeah.
I think there's a point to that. I don't think it necessarily makes that point well, and I think the reason it doesn't make the point well is because they like Gundam too much. They keep on getting distracted by the toys they get to play with because they're doing Gundam.
Yeah, like it comes down to about a little bit more or less about like new types not exploiting them, but then they have Black Dynamite. I'm exploiting new types to further my aims.
Yeah.
But anyway, for next week, when they just put a great big visual metaphor on what I assume is the point. Right, Apocalypse Hotel, episode 11. Wag your tail, but never wag a shift. It's the cozy apocalypse episode that people thought this show was going to be throughout.
I'm glad I watched this episode last in the week because I feel like this was like the calming end to a lot of the stuff. I was like, yeah, no, this was a good one to end it on because I was just like, yeah, this is nice. It is like it does remind you that this isn't a post-apocalypse story. This is an apocalypse story. Everybody dead, and like, well, the aliens are fine. The robots are mostly fine, but
Cammy can after like doing so many things with a robot, can we convince a robot to go along with wacky schemes? Can we convince a robot to consider their own mortality?
Yeah, consider her own mortality by giving her 2 days off. It's like we're looking at the rota, and you haven't taken a day off in, I actually stopped tracking how many
A
years
couple
it's
of
been.
centuries now.
It's
So
definitely over 300 years. I can't remember how fucking
you
long
had
it's
that
been.
like
But yeah.
sabbatical where you were like trapped in the void of space, but you
That
know.
was just like 30 years. You're still got a lot of weekends available. So yeah.
So you're taking a day off now from. We got it all handled. Like we can answer doors. We can book people in for a room. But it's like, well, I don't know where I would go except for here. So she books a stay at this hotel.
And keeps trying to not do hotel stuff, like do the check in the room. It's like, I gotta lie down on the bed. I'll just chill. It's like, no, I gotta make the bed. I have to make the bed. I can't not.
And one of the important note for the punchline is that there is a guest who has lost his pet.
Yeah, because he asked, "Can we have pets?" And it's like, "No, you can't have pets." However, yes, you can have pets because we are the best hotel. You have to take money from the money pile, hand it to us, and now you can stay in the hotel for free. Which is why everyone like the service is great, but it's free. What a lovely holiday! All
And
these
also,
aliens are
I think
getting.
you start noticing that people are just living here now.
Oh,
It's the
that
same aliens
Birdman
you're seeing.
is in the sauna. If they're not living here, they're coming here on the reg, and I don't blame them because it's
Yeah.
lovely.
They are gold card members for sure.
And then she goes on a trip around the area, and we get
Just a little day around Ginza. It was like, going to take a nice walk in the autumn foliage. We're going to do a bit of shopping, trying a couple of outfits.
It's the most sad shopping spree I've ever fucking seen because the music's really like morose and there's like it's in a crack thing and she's just trying out stuff, having no emotional reaction because she is a robot and does not care what she is wearing.
Well,
she goes to
they're cute outfits, though.
They're nice outfits. She does go to a shrine specifically because this is for like business wealth, and she's like, I gotta pray at that
stack
shrine.
of money in here. You know what to do with that.
She goes to a pachinko parlor with one pachinko machine working, and that pachinko machine, well, it's cigarette themed, hilariously, and also it seems desperate to fulfill its purpose after centuries of neglect. The way that the dialogue of the machine is saying.
I think it's like the robots and the robot that went mad now thinks it's American. Like it's a pachinko machine that's gone mad. It's like, please keep winning in pachinko. Buy cigarettes.
Feed me.
Because it's just like how the amount of balls she's winning from the machine is crazy. And then we meet some horses.
I had a whole day of ones. It's like fun. Like, whoa, how long was I in that fucking pachinko parlor for?
We see sort of like.
I like the fact that she goes to a cafe. The cafe is in ruins. She like goes to like an outlet store and it's like, I guess I could like go camping. Goes camping, becomes friends with the animals, meets a friendly horse, goes on a trip with the horse, brings the horse home to its horse family because they have similar markings on their face.
But not all horses are horses. She does a fireworks show for some seals.
To slaughter.
And the whole time she's doing this as well, she's like, all right, I'll do a system check. It's like key component failure, replace immediately. And it's just like, should probably get on that. Any components down here in the robot graveyard in the hotel? No. Anyone downtown?
This old Apple shop says it might have someone that's like, no, it's also damaged. It's just like, fuck it, down. But then this is like, a bit more wandering. It's like, no, I'm seeing like, all the other robots of like all my colleagues here. This is another hotel. Not as obviously falling on harder times than we. It's kind of poignant then, and then it was like, here's a properly preserved servers like receptionist one like her. It's like, oh, all right. It's like amazing. It must have made like clothing sturdy stuff that hasn't like rotted in centuries.
Well, I was thinking that again, our raccoon girl was researching about work-related things, and she found a bookstore that was still in place, and I was like, how is there paper money? How are there books still? And I was like, okay, it's the future. Paper now lasts longer. That's the only way I can think of. Like a lot of things last longer. Yeah.
And so while salvaging parts from duplicate is sad, I read the interview on Anime News Network where they're talking about how they want silliness and sadness on the same side of a coin.
Yeah.
It's not going to let things be sad for long because the horse will return. It'll turn out to be an alien Pegasus. It will bite her on the head, which will unlock crossed eyes. She can now cross her eyes and make a silly expression.
And because like the specific achievement unlocked is be bitten by a Pegasus.
Yes.
So I think a lot of the achievements are just like achieve something Impossible. Pegasus do not fucking exist. I put that achievement in there.
The
as a
manager
special.
always knew. The manager always knew. He's like, he had to get the process. He knew the end was coming, so we needed to make sure that there was some record of us after we were gone. The best goddamn hotel this civilization could manage.
But she flies on the magical Pegasus, the bitter head, back home to the hotel, where the guest is like, "Where's my fucking horse?" It's like, "Oh, pony." And it's just, and gets a nod from the doorman. It's just like, yeah, still kind of on the job, even though I'm just coming back.
How was your day off, Yachio? It was like, I felt alive.
And it's like one of the only things she says the entire fucking episode, which is really nice because it's so quiet and chill the entire time. Yeah, like you said, Brian, very much so. The show people thought it was going to be, maybe with less silliness, because the silliness is
still interspersed today. We're going to have,
yes.
we're going to have like, going to be outside here, going to be camping. The animals are going to frolic over right here. I'm going to have like, I got a cup of coffee right here. Get the perfect roast, hot water. Then tries it and it's like, the fuck is that? Get out of here. Burns the magazine. I gave it a tip about fun. Oh, go camping. I'm having fun. That's bullshit.
Yeah, goes on a trip to the place where they produce the single malt whiskey for the hotel. Is like goes on tour. Just goes to the field in town where they grow all of
the other
wheat. Yeah.
The other important thing is the deserts have now disappeared.
Yeah, because she goes through the station and the things everything's grown back through the same stops and everything, because we don't have the giant sandworms fucking wrecking the joint, so they are now on the menu. So yeah, you're good.
Yeah, there's less environmental details like that. Like one of the bus stops has been changed to all buses go in the direction of the space evacuation arc for humanity.
Yeah, her kind of like wandering across like smash down government bollard kind of things
about like
with protest signs thrown down. It's like, I love peace. It's like, don't leave me behind, and all this kind of protest signs. And it was just like, it's telling you this environmental story that, again, our robot hotelier does not give a fuck about. She's just like, what the fuck am I going to do on a day off? That's not running a hotel. That's more her concern. But we're seeing all this environmental storytelling just walking around with her. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, this is one where I watched the final episode as well, and I think more next week. It's just another episode of Apocalypse Hotel. It's the best show.
I'm fine with that. Yeah,
it's the best show this year. It's definitely.
It's been one of my favorites consistently. Like, yeah, for sure.
I mean, games, you've done it again.
Yeah, very much so.
Then we got Me and the Alien MuMuu, episode 11, MuMuu and the Air Purifier, in which we meet Dry the Serval, our evil psychic Serval in a red gilet.
Red vest.
And they're not getting the information quick enough, so we come back, we're going to drain it out of the president's head, and then we're probably going to have to destroy the planet. That cat I ran over, it's Patchwork MuMuu from the Assassin's Order. And then we get an absolute tear-down fight with MuMuu kicking the shit out of this Serval.
When you consider that the fight opens with it smashing a fucking truck into MuMuu, slight conversation, and then a kick-ass fight. Yeah. Where it's just MuMuu hit him in the solar plexus to disable his psychic powers. Yes. As we all know is how that works.
And then he
Dry GQC.
Yeah, Dry throws like a smoke bomb, and MuMuu is like, "Oh no, a smoke bomb! He's going to get away." And he's like, "Yeah, right." And then next thing, he's got this giant hammer, and he's broken his leg. And he's just standing above him, tapping his hand with a hammer. Yeah, so it turns out MuMuu is a stone cold killer, and he didn't used to be a calico we see in a flashback. He used to be a pure white cat. I assume that flashback is him killing some scientists.
When he goes hey, we killed all the scientists. By we, I mean me. I killed a bunch of the scientists of the opposing armies of our world. Oh, it also explains he's weirded out by plants. And that obviously is a plot point because they don't have plants. They didn't have plants on his home planet because the only thing that photosynthesizes is cats on his planet. So yeah. That's
That's
why they had
where
a
the
war over all the nice sunny places.
yes,
Mm.
yeah. So I gets the feeling perhaps he didn't kill those scientists, and they've done something to him because he's thinking back on they're explaining how uh, sort of how culture continues. I was
Culture
not
continues outside of individuals. Yeah, yeah,
yes, and I was not expecting the funny cat show to provide a commentary on genocide. But
yeah.
there it is. It's doing it.
Mm.
It's
Um,
hilarious.
and the air purifier part is essentially the cats get hay fever, and this is how they prevent
Mm.
the invasion force from destroying the Earth by selling them air purifiers.
Yeah, MuMu convinces Dry that it's just like you see those tears going up in your eyes. It's like that's chemical warfare. It's like they're getting inside your system, and he's combined the explanation he got earlier about what hay fever is with the explanation of what the guy going like with these air purifiers. They say they can take the radon out of the air or some fucking nonsense. It's like it's bollocks. And he's like, no, it puts radon into your body. And it's just like, okay, whatever. But the aliens are like, holy shit, I do feel like crap because all the cats are like, yeah, we did open the window in the spaceship that we parked out in the countryside. That the army's kind of like, no, you shoot it. No, you shoot it. No government body wants to take credit for this or to try and shoot this thing first. But the aliens in the ship are like, holy shit, my eyes are watering and my nose is running. What the fuck is this? It's like, yes, this will eventually kill you unless you buy these things for. And herself and MuMu have crafted an ad to sell them air purifiers where she's like, no way, that cheap. It's so good.
Um, yeah,
It's War of the Worlds, but like from capitalism's point of view. I guess also you're
Isn't there
lying.
isn't there an easier way?
Yeah, very much so
uh,
that kind of level of acting.
and then we see the leader of this part of the aliens, who is a disabled tiger.
Oh, I thought it was just the lines were moving around on a plank and
I
you know
thought
those
he was in a
things that
wheelchair. I thought he was in a
yeah.
wheelchair. I'm sure he was in a wheelchair, but maybe
Yeah, no, I
not.
might have been reading it wrong. But regardless, very threatening tiger with very threatening lion bodyguards going like, you really fucked up there, Dry. You screwed the pooch there.
Or
Uh,
cat in this case.
yes, yeah. MuMuu is known to these people and feared, apparently.
Mm,
We also learn how air purifiers work.
yep. And the best
And
ones
Seasonal
are
topical
it's one of the
humor.
it's one of the few times that our guy before he gets nearly abducted and his brain sucked out through the hole in his head by aliens. We do have him for once go like the best made things in the world. Swedish made. That's actually I'm not gonna go Japan this fucking time. It's actually Sweden. It's Northern Europe and then Sweden specifically. Like if you want to go specific. Mm.
yeah, there's some more with his romance developments as well of
Your one
the
visits him in hospital and the other guy's also in hospital from having a truck crash into their like their room.
yeah, they were
Um,
both going to get their brains drained. Not it wasn't just
yeah.
mid-president. He was
Oh
going
no,
to
no, might as well get all the information out of them. We'll suck the planet dry of resources and then fucking move on to a more technologically advanced planet was their plan, but it has been foiled by MuMu, who's convinced them that the humans have air purifiers in order to prevent. Listen, they have this technology called, I guess, allergies, like maple wood or whatever those flowers are that send everyone fucking off.
I think it's
But
cedar
yeah,
in Japan. I think cedar is the big
yeah,
one.
it's cedar in Japan. You're right. He does call it biological warfare, but it's only intended to incapacitate, not kill. And we have this air purifier that we can sell you to cure it. So they are a peaceful society. We can work with these people. They're not out to kill us, and it's that's part of the pitch of selling them air purifiers.
No, the tiger does appear to be in a wheelchair because you see the wheel come into the
My bad, my
shot
bad.
before you see the rest of him.
Okay.
Presumably war wounds. Yeah, we'll see where this goes. It looks like next episode it kind of resets back to its usual state of affairs, involving kissing.
That's not technology.
Well, it is an integral part of building a successful society.
I don't think
Uh,
cats need to learn how to do it though. I could be wrong.
I
No,
think
but
that
I'm receiving them though, don't you?
yes, I think Desimaru is interested.
That's true.
He does seem to find humans attractive. Uh,
Yeah,
all
I was
human
thinking when
ladies he finds
the
attractive.
serval guy showed up and was like, "You ugly slave girl," and it's like Decimara would have kicked your ass, but he's like,
Yes.
"Beautiful slave girl," as he responds to her every time he sees her.
Yeah, but it's also he's responded that way to other human women. I think he just finds human women in general attractive.
Yeah,
Um,
it's unfortunate he has a human male owner then who he does not
yes,
like that
or
much.
it's fortunate.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Then we got no, we got Windbreaker first. Windbreaker, episode 25, Strength for Another.
Mm.
Uh, in
Pop quiz,
which
Nere. How much history do you know about this school?
we get the
When
history
he
of the
when
school.
he did as they call it, like a Rakugo show of the history of the school, and everyone's just like, "Whoa, that was really fucking cool!" Like they all applaud. I was like,
Very
"Oh man, that's
succinct. Mm.
very succinct. You got over the major points. It was really dramatic and interesting. I was really engaged the whole time. And I was there for that history, so that's wild. Yeah, good job. But does, what do you know about the other guy, the guy who we've called you to this meeting for? I can't remember his name. Tattoo Man.
Endo,
Endo.
he's the legend. He was
Hmm.
like, no, like, like if he was of your generation there, like, you know, he's kind of that, yeah, like when we came to school, it was a lawless zone, but me and my four buddies here, to zoom in me, we kind of came, we cleaned this place up. We got everybody kind of know to stop fighting, just kind of to unify, get out there and help people. But Endo, he preferred things the old way. And he is like, you know, just want to have a tear up and we're going to have like fun duels of constant strength all the time to see who's the best. So we
Hmm.
pit fights at ours cool, pit fights at all others cool, so other kind of gangs. It was all kinds of places like that.
Hmm.
But then, like, you know, we managed to unify the school, and him and all his buddies, they all left and just did their own thing. Oh yeah, because he beat him, right? That's part of the problem. We didn't technically beat them. They just left. We kept fighting them. Damn, came close that many times, but we didn't technically beat them. They just left.
While we were fighting the rest of the school, we were winning them over to our side slowly but surely. But we never out and out won against them. They never out won against us. It was always like a stalemate kind of thing.
I suppose they had the moral victory, the ideological victory. Was like, well, we've brought
They've
more
changed
people, swayed people out of our way of thinking than to yours.
they've actually changed the environment to the thing they were trying to do. But the point being, and as Endo was saying of him, that's the school Sakura was trying to get into at the start of the show. The super violent school where everyone's always fighting for no goddamn reason.
Yes.
Hmm.
Also, they make the point that Umemiya has never fought Endo, and it turns out the reason this is because he was too busy fighting someone even stronger. Um, so that's why Sakura, yes, you can fight Endo, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I kind of see it too as just like, well, heroes like is in many ways always a lot of these fucking guys are seeing like the younger version of themselves in Sakura. He's just
Yeah.
this like this late. It's like here's someone like who came along with this. He's like, no, we're gone. Has gone to lost scraps with us. He's kind of rejected like any notion that he rejects anyone in his worldview. So it's like one
Yeah.
saying. So we're just saying there's a shot. We're saying we got a hope to maybe even bring Endo around this way of thinking because this is the way he used to think as well.
Yes.
Maybe we can kind of pull him back from the brink. Well, he's
Yeah,
probably
you-
well over the cliff by now.
Sakura wanted to go to the school that Endo left because it wasn't that school anymore. But now he likes this thing. He thinks this is good. He thinks having
Yes.
friends and people to care about is actually rad as shit. Now that I'm
If
looking
you
at
look
it.
at the end credit animation, at least like I kind of let it run to the end this week now. It's like
Yeah.
there was like Endo in the Bofurun uniform. He's like clutching his shoulder and looking all sad, looking up to the guy fucking Chikika from just the huge fucking like super duper legend who even we're all scared of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, because you get the feeling this episode is Sakura is confirmation to Umemiya that he made the right choice, that his changes he made to the school are correct, and it works.
You've actually won over a guy who would have been Endo in another fucking life. If he was if he was born a little earlier, he would have been happy with the old school. But he likes the school that you've made better than the school he wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why then he's like, yeah, okay, now we can try and take care of this problem. And Sakura, you fine fighting Endo because I'm going to go and fight the guy who's even tougher than Endo. And then we get cut to the guy even tougher than Endo beating somebody up and feeling no satisfaction from it.
I do like that Endo is coming back from his shopping. Like he just has like a bag of groceries. Like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, well, I want to set off fireworks, but these cunts were in the alley, so I made a big pile of their, I presume, not dead corpses.
Unconscious
Never know.
bodies and
Unconscious bodies to make a big high thing to set the fireworks off from. It's like, I guess I need to pile them a little higher because the fireworks aren't going up high enough. Yeah, what a badass.
Chika Takeshi, the strongest man in Furin history. And so that's where we'll leave it. Gotta wait for season 3 now.
Never we get that. And I'm assuming this did like good enough guns for them to warrant keeping it up and running.
I hope so. It's a good show. It's a lot of fun, and it having the premise of we're gonna build up the fight. We're gonna have a cool fight, slap up meal, have a fucking conversation about it afterwards. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine with the format. Like it works.
What did we learn from punching today?
Yeah. Like it's like in a lot of respects, it's like in some of the direction of the story that feels like, oh, of course it's going to be like a bigger scary guy. Used to go to school, used to be our friend. Now is like guys coming back to destroy us. Yeah. So if it is your first one of those, or isn't your first one of those, it might seem at points a little bit like kind of just kind of regular. But I think what it puts in with like, oh yeah, like. I suppose what's it called? Positive representation of masculinity.
Yeah.
Hey man, fucking like, why are you fighting people? It's like, no, I'm so fucking mad at fun saying, well, what are you mad about? Let's fucking come over here and talk about it.
Yeah.
Or we can't talk about it, we'll just put the shit off each other and then we'll like get our feelings across that way, because the fight's a conversation. Also, a conversation is also a conversation.
Yeah.
There's violence in service of a narrative. That's the best kind.
Then finally, the Dinner Table Detective, episode 12. What is it that you have lost? No text messages from work yet.
Haven't lost track of them.
So I'm gonna guess this is original because it's not a mystery and it seems designed to like bring back loads of events from earlier stories.
It's the action-packed finale.
Yeah, it feels like that, and also that one episode of Columbo where they're trying to solve a kidnapping rather than a murder for weeks and months and however long it fucking takes them to do it. It's very much so like they say, we got 48 hours before they kill the hostage, or that tends to be the timeline that these things go. But yeah, and also connecting back to the family stuff, mostly from like the last episode, but like related things that we've already set up. We've already set up some of the interdynamics here.
Yeah. Dora's been kidnapped, been given a ransom. They want fucking 50 million yen. They've already been sending us threats of like blackmailing us, and we paid those off. And like someone's trying to get more money out of it. So it's obviously that dude, the consultant, who tried to marry Yen a month ago. So it obviously must be him because he was after your money, sure. So we're going to set up this whole trap. We're going to send like the son just like there with the bag full of money. He's going to be like trackers and things all over his ass. We're going to know precisely where he goes to. Okay, and Reiko, you go down there with Kageyama. You're going to pose as like a darling couple, just like taking it in the sights of the fireworks festival, where the drop's going to happen.
I like a lot of the stuff where she initially checks out the apartment and stuff, and then your man's not there, and she's panicking about it, and Kageyama takes her out of it by going like, "Are you a stupid moron?" And she's like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm bringing you back. I need you to fucking focus right now, otherwise this daughter's not going to get." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, he's actually using that, insulting her for justice now." All of a sudden, yeah.
A little bit like to find that kind of track down. There's some nice subterfuge there when they like you're getting directions like from the blackmail fund saying go buy some yakisoba. Okay, fucking saying that's natural. Okay, go buy me cotton candy fund. It's fella just getting into the fun buy stuff. He's hungry or he's just like trying to like see he's got like an earpiece in so fun. Go to
he's moving him around and he's watching people who are moving him around kind of thing. Like yeah.
The fake Kazamatsuri fucking who's just taking him after one. He's coming right over for you, Dory. Watch out! He's like he's right on top of you. Like it's fun aliens. One say just walk past me. How was that? It's like no. I
did go back and check, and you can see him in disguise.
He was put into a disguise because he got a separate phone from the blackmailer, and it's been follow these instructions and do all this, find the disguise, put this on, leave the money here, drop the bag off the bridge. It's a dummy bag to throw him off the trail. And that's like it was like the CT consultant guy, because it's approached by someone in the bunny mascot suit, the reek of cologne. It's like, that guy's shitty cologne, it must be him. I thought, well, maybe we think could be to frame him. No, it's as simple as that. Because literally cut to the next scene. He's the thing in the front seat of his car. Cue like an incredible car chase. Because Kazuma Suri is like, well, I'm on his tail. Well, he won't get away from me.
There's a couple of like callbacks that work good. Like your man at one point when it's just like, oh, what's inside the bathroom? And he like, is the money there? It's like, no, there's just some yakisoba. Your man's like, yakisoba. You know that fucking thing where he freaks out about that. Like that's the hint. It's the fact that they're having the car chase in that shitty car company's cars.
Yeah.
So his car breaks down. It's like stupid, crappy car, and your man's just like, did you fucking call my family car?
You could do some sort of speed race with like flipping over the side. Like you didn't punch him, but you like pulling straight, pull over.
Yeah, and like so he gets his man, he gets him, and it's like, oh my god, we need to go to the second location. There's another guy involved. It's like, all right, I'll get my car. Stupid crappy gets him.
It's the cut of him not being. We don't get quite the full sentence from him.
Cuts off the full profanity.
Yeah. He doesn't get to insult his family's shitty cars. Because it's just conked out after that car chase. It's got no more juice left in it. But it's another guy who we had not seen before. But if I went back to the other episode, I guess I'd see him in the background as a chef.
Well, like this is where like Kageyama was like, "Fun, come on, like you're a detective. Like I know I'm not solving this right, but fun, think you know his family better than me. What's really about fun saying?"
Yeah.
Well, it was like this. What's that family photo in the back? It was like the old villa, where it's now a retreat for their employees at the fancy restaurant. Yes, the same restaurant this man used to work in. And his daughter was killed in a freak accident. We're trying to develop like new desserts for the demanding menu using like liquid nitrogen. It was a horrible accident, but he puts the pressure of that for what like causing the be so careless, and his daughter gets, I'm going to take revenge against my former employer, your neighbor's family who you're like up against or are very close with. So I'm gonna kidnap their daughter, and I'm gonna kill him the exact same way I accidentally killed my daughter. This is the only fair revenge. Also, the other guy gets to steal like 50 million like yen, because that's how he gets involved, and you gotta get his too.
So yeah, just getting in at the last second, where I like the thing that actually causes him to flinch for a second is where the daughter kind of calls out to her dad, and it reminds him of his own daughter, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And that gives her enough time to bust in. It's like, "Freeze!" And he's like, I'll cut her with a knife." And her getting injured causes the butler to go berserk mode.
Not like, berserk mode. He's just fucking serious, but saying, "Hand me that retractable baton. I'm going to go to town on anybody who hurts my mistress."
Yeah. Because he's. Would you believe he's the super confident butler who will recognize? I think he recognized the bird song from the video as well that helped them locate the villa that they're hiding out in. But pretty cool fight between a baton and a fucking hatchet.
It was pretty tight, like, it was really strange. Even like when Hosho gets in and like, go throw look at nitrogen right in his face, and that doesn't fun a passive one in Kageyama do. I'm going to fucking just like throw shit from the sidelines. Another job well done for a dinner table detective.
This is original. I was just checking the stories lists.
I felt like it was as well, because even the ending was kind of like where they've grown closer now that they've faced death and saved the little girl together, and also had to pretend to be a couple, and it's like, and he's like, "Hey, where do you want to go?" My treat is like, "Well, I got my favorite place," and she's like, "Well, you'll have to tell me the mystery because it's best solved after dinner. We'll go down to your favorite noodle place." Yeah, it felt very much so like freeze credits, like freeze frame and then credits roll kind of thing, but doing it cooler than that, obviously.
Buy the
very
books
detective
now.
Show.
Yes, well,
buy book now.
Yeah, I was just looking at the list of the third volume, which is the most recent, which is still quite some time ago, I think. The paperback version has a collaboration story with Detective Conan.
Oh, now I'm back. Now you're back in. Now I'm back in interested.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's like enough. I think there's always going to be. Oh, bear with me. Just got to mute myself.
let
Yeah,
me know because you
You're
weren't
very
muted.
much not muted, but we'll cut
That's
that
I
out.
know. I do want to hit the button, otherwise it's going to cause me problems. Rightio, I'll let you go, and I'll stop recording, and I will edit the ending off. That's it for now. Ta-ra!
Right, that's all we got.
Bye.
Good night, fellas.
Oh,